another episode of THV Media Presents. I'm Miriam Alexandria, here with entrepreneur and philanthropist Will Holmes. So how are you doing today?
I'm cool as a fan. How are you?
I'm good. You ready to get into it?
Absolutely.
So I hear you're founder and CEO of WHC, along with being the chairman for the Baltimore City Chamber of Commerce.
That's correct. I wear a lot of hats in the city, and I'm fortunate it allows me to do a lot of work in the community. That's where I got all these plaques from.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a blessing to be able to do what I do.
That's incredible. So tell me a little bit about the plaques.
Well, it's my legacy. I'm just really fortunate. I've had the opportunity to help a lot of people. Mm-hmm. And so these plaques are we received a plaque from the governor's office, from a few mayors, a few senators,
wow.
Some great organizations in the area like the Urban League and Youth Opportunity Baltimore, Cancer Society, Treasury. So we do a lot in the community, and we're really proud of our work.
That's incredible that you built yourself up and you're still giving back to other people.
I have to. One, I love it, mm-hmm. but also that's just something my mother told me when I was coming up. She said, "You're here on this earth, and you have work to do. We're here to work and serve. Once your work is done, you go home. I'm not ready to go home, so I'm trying to put in as much work as I can to help others, and I really do enjoy it.
Yeah, and make the most of your life.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Every day is a blessing, and I think it would be arrogant to think that I have more time. I hope I've got at least like 50, 60 more summers or something. But even no matter how it all works out, I'm proud of what we've been able to do, and I've been very fortunate to be able to help a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. So tell me, what made you want to become a business consultant?
I was tired of working for folks.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do that anymore, and I was really good at fixing things, fixing situations, problems, especially in corporate America, implementing new technology, creating new processes, new procedures, leading lots of people. And so I worked for a lot of great organizations, larger financial organizations, million and billion dollar organizations running operations. And so I had a lot of experience fixing these major issues. And I just came to the conclusion, like, look, if I can do this for them,
you could do it for yourself.
I could do it for myself. And so I left. I left and I started my own organization, and I bet on myself, and it's turned out great. And that was 15 years ago.
Wow. So tell me about the kind of clients you usually work with.
Well, we work with a lot of government agencies. We worked with Department of Defense, Treasury, Commerce. We've also worked with some of the county agencies here in the area. Also a number of universities. Like right now, we have a contract with Johns Hopkins Carey Business School where we mentor MBA students. We also work with Morgan State University on a few initiatives. One of those being the Baltimore Meets Business program. And then we have another client, Goldman Sachs. We work with them on their 10,000 Small Businesses program. Mm-hmm. And so, and the cool thing about those two programs, actually all three of those programs, is that it really helps people in the community to get the information they need to grow their businesses and add jobs. So the Goldman Sachs program is for businesses that are making over like 75 to 100,000 or more, whereas the Baltimore Meets Business program is for companies that are earning under 75,000. And so we're able to provide really great information to all the companies in the area. And I'm really proud of that. I'm excited to get to work with great organizations that believe in giving back and investing and these are free programs. So they're really investing in the community. So those clients, plus also we work with hundreds of companies. Well, we have worked with hundreds of companies over the last 15 years, helping them to identify their target customers and make more money.
That's incredible. So you mentioned Morgan State and Johns Hopkins University. Do you teach there? What's your role there?
So technically I'm an advisor. So they have programs, because I'm not a professor. I'm a consultant. That's what I do. So my contracts with them really involve me advising. So if it's it may be like for Hopkins Carey Business School, they really believe in and giving experiential learning to MBA students. So any MBA student who wants to be a consultant, I would teach them or show them really best practices and things that happen out here in real life on how to really work with clients. Where with Morgan State, I am actually teaching the Baltimore Means Business program. So that's a 7-week program where I facilitate and I teach a few of the classes, but I bring in other subject matter experts to talk about other things, like some of the topics where maybe I'm not an expert. And so I wrote that curriculum and I'm facilitating and teaching. So, and I do actually, I love teaching. I love sharing information. But they're always very clear that I'm not a professor. I'm not a professor. I'm an advisor.
Yeah, but it's still good that you're guiding the youth, because they're going to be the future of America and the world.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's important.
So tell me about more of your clients. Like, what challenges do they usually face?
I think the most common challenge is that people focus on what they think people should buy or what they think people should need, as opposed to taking the time to talk to customers, potential customers, and just ask them, like, hey, what do you guys want? And looking at what are the needs in the market at the time. That's probably the greatest challenge. People's egos get in the way. And I think that if a person is open to putting their ego to the side and actually looking at a need in the market and trying to fill that need, then they can get paid. Mm-hmm. And that's usually especially with smaller and startup companies, that's usually the greatest challenge they have. Larger companies, their greatest challenge is really if you're trying to figure out how to scale, how to price things appropriately, how to get access to capital so that they can hire more people so they can do more. So, but those are usually the greatest challenges I see.
And what advice would you give to an existing business to survive during these times?
I think always you have to keep your ear to the ground and pay attention to the market and understand what people want and need. Like right now, during any economic downturn, people's needs often change. Like, so, they have less money, budgets are a little tighter, but they still have needs, they're still buying things. And so you have to just be able to pivot and you have to adjust to what people are buying right now. It doesn't matter what you were selling before. Either you find other people who didn't know about what you were selling and you reach them and you show them the value, or you find new people and you find something new to sell, if you're going to stay open.
So would you, if a company was going through a tough time right now, would you recommend that they downsize?
I think that if the need in the market wasn't there, if there's not enough customers to support your expenses and your intention is to stay open and keep the business going, you may need to do that. And it may sound cold, it may sound harsh, but it's just the reality of business. Everyone has slow times. Big, small companies have slow times. So if you're intending to keep the business open, you may need to actually let some people go, either for a period of time or whatever. But the thing is, it gives them an opportunity to find something else. And especially if you're honest and you communicate with people and it's like, look, we're slowing down. I mean, they know things are slowing down and we're looking at shutting down. I think if you give them that information as early as possible so they can start to make adjustments, and you do it ethically and you're just a good person about it, and I think people understand. They're not going to like it, having to look for a new job or having to get unemployment. But I mean, that's just a reality of business.
So how would a company, prepare themselves for a recession?
Well, I think you have to pay attention to the market. So I mean, this is 2020, 2019. I was telling people in the Chamber of Commerce that, look, you guys should be looking at decreasing your expenses and making sure that you understand the needs of the market. I didn't know there was going to be a pandemic, but what I did know is that economic growth usually doesn't last more than like 8 to 9 years. Mm-hmm. We were going into our 10th or 11th year of economic growth, which is
strange,
very strange. So we're due for a market correction. I mean, it's just how it is if you pay attention. So I think you have to pay attention, you have to know these kinds of things, and then just be ready. No one knew there was going to be a pandemic. That no one saw that coming. But I would say, one, just pay attention, but then also get out there and talk to customers, look at the market and say, look, who actually is making money? So right now, technology companies that are helping other companies go to the cloud, help people work remotely, they're making money. Healthcare is making money. Any of those organizations that provide services to other companies or organizations that are making money, that are adjacent in those industries. Delivery is making money. Retail is making a comeback. Restaurants are, still, kind of slow because of the pandemic and people not coming out as much. So I think if you pay attention to the market, pay attention to where people are spending money, pay attention to the industries that are making money, and then you try and do what you can to provide something of value, then you'll do okay.
Do you have any advice for anyone who's thinking of starting a company?
Well, besides the information I said before, as far as understanding the market and knowing what your customers want, I think that you just have to understand the emotional side of being an entrepreneur. When I started, nobody believed in me, nobody supported me, everybody thought I was crazy. In fact, people was like, how can you do that? And you have a family, that's irresponsible, that's unreasonable. Mm-hmm. And so I was by myself on the whole thing. And I started off by myself. And it was years of long nights and early mornings. But I would say if you can understand that it's on you to make it happen. Now you're gonna need a team eventually to help you, and you have money to pay them, but you have to bet on yourself. You have to have control of your emotions so that, or at least your mind has to be stronger than your emotions, because it's a very challenging thing being on your own and with people paying you late. I remember one client owed me like $50,000. It was like 125 days. That hurt. That was scary.
Yeah.
But, and I could have chosen to be depressed and sad and scared. I was a little scared, but I decided to be happy about it and to look for more clients and get back on the grind and get more business. And it turned out okay, and they eventually paid. So I think that, I guess in summary, if you're thinking about starting a business, understand that it's really hard. It might be one of the hardest things you've ever done. And you have to do it by yourself in many cases to kind of get things started, and people won't support you. Your family and friends won't necessarily buy from you, but you have to believe in yourself. You have to bet on yourself, get that faith that you can make it happen. You have to listen to the market and make sure people actually are going to buy what you want to sell. And if you could do all that and you stay on the grind and work hard at it every day, you'll be okay.
Yeah, and I think too, a lot of people don't realize the risk that comes involved with a business. They just kind of rely on the hope that they have that it'll do good. Mm-hmm. And I think the piece of advice you gave was really nice. Well, thank you, Will, for joining us for this episode today.
Thanks for coming to the office. This made it easy.
Of course, anytime. And thank you guys for joining us for another episode of CHV Media Presents. I'm Miriam Alexandria, and be sure to like and subscribe and be on the lookout for future episodes. See you next time.